fun?
Yes.
Yes.
You're such an expert. Do you think that next time we should use some good beans?
Yes, I do. Welcome back, guys. Episode 5 now of the Uneducated Opinions podcast.
I can't believe we've done 5.
I know. We're getting along already. I'm your co-host, Steve.
And I'm Andy.
And Andy. So every episode, the basis or the premise of our podcast is it's a couple of guys sitting down, having a beer, talking about anything and everything, even though they have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. And that's where the uneducated opinion has come from. Unfortunately today, it's about 11 o'clock in the morning, and we both are watching our diets this week for Andy's competing at weightlifting nationals this weekend. I'm in the middle of the CrossFit Open, so we're just watching and we're having a coffee this morning instead.
One of us has a real competition on.
Yeah, one of us, me, is doing something that actually requires some physical stress, and the other one is doing 6 lifts across a 3-hour period.
Anyway, cheers.
Cheers.
You got me in trouble last time for not cheersing.
Oh, not cheersing? Yeah, cheers. We won't talk about the bean, but we're drinking our mate Jamie's bean from the Espresso Bros. We won't comment.
From the Espresso Bros?
Espresso Bros, because that's what they do on their podcast. So we won't talk about it, apart from the fact that it's pretty fucking average. But cheers. Thanks, Jamie.
Well, as a seasoned coffee drinker...
You?
Yeah.
Yep. For the last 2 months.
I can tell you that it is black.
I think this might be Andy's first long black
coffee. Yeah,
black coffee, is it?
Yeah.
What do you think?
What's yours like? Why is yours is very full? But does yours even have water? Is yours a long black?
Yeah.
Yours has like 5 shots of coffee in it as well, though.
So when I was making the coffees, I made Andy's coffee first, but I was just making 2 shots and then putting the hot water in. So I made Andy's coffee first and then left his mug sitting there.
Yeah,
we're still good.
Yeah.
Left his mug sitting there, and then went to make my own coffee and accidentally put his mug back in underneath the portafilter again and made 4 shots of coffee. So I'm drinking a really strong long black, but it's actually going down really well. It's quite nice. I'm enjoying it.
You know what? I can see the appeal of coffee. Like, this is growing on me. I'm still not like, wow, this is what I need every day, all day.
Yeah.
But I can see why people appreciate the taste of coffee. It seems like you talk about this a lot. Like, the older you get, you have more of an appreciation for things that taste like rubbish.
Yes, yeah, 100%.
So, like, you know, as a child, obviously, beer is one of those things. Something that we both love now.
Yeah. Or at least pretend to for the sake of the podcast.
No, I really do like beer.
I do like beer as well. You know what's really funny? So, I know we'll probably talk about it in a little bit more in depth, but having just gotten back from a trip overseas to the States, I went to maybe like 5 or 6 different bars that had 20, 30 craft beers on tap, and I found maybe 3 beers that I enjoyed over there. Yeah, like.
But Oregon is known for good beers as well.
Yeah,
right?
like Portland, we did a brewery tour in Portland, where we just had like tasting plates at 3 different breweries, and like a couple of the lagers I enjoyed, but even there, like I really enjoy a pale ale made in Australia, or even like the Little Creatures IPAs. Yeah. The Indian pale ales. I really like those.
Proper IPAs you don't like.
But proper IPAs I don't like. They're just so hoppy, like
but I told
ridiculously.
You that. Remember how I said I don't like IPAs?
Yeah,
that's reason.
Why. Yeah, so hoppy. Like all you can taste is hops.
What is a hop?
It's a grain, isn't it? It's a grain. It's a grain that's then brewed in beers in the vat. It's put in there with either the wheat or yeast or barley. I think have you ever tried wheat beer? Yeah. It's very big in like
That's
South
what
America
we have
and stuff.
In the fridge that we were gonna drink.
Oh, is it?
Because like a lot of German beers are wheat beers, right?
Yeah, I had a PT of mine got me a 6-pack of this Argentinian beer years ago. I can't remember the name. And I wasn't really a fan, and then I tried the exact same beer maybe 6 months ago, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
The wheat beer.
Yeah, I like them. I think they're like a little bit sweeter. Not sweet, smoother.
Yeah. Okay.
than like regular beers.
Mm.
And that's what I remember. Well, that's what I feel like they are.
Yeah.
But I have to have one in front of me to like.
To really talk
How
about
was
it,
your
yeah.
trip?
It was good. It was really, really good. Lots and lots of fun. I'm wearing an Oregon
Yeah, I really like that t-shirt.
University shirt. It's got Nike tick on it. So, Oregon, this is a good story actually. Oregon University is like the testing point for a lot of Nike's new gear. Nike, I don't even.
Because they're from Oregon, right?
Because they're from Oregon. So, they're.
Is it Maine, Oregon? Or
Portland.
is that where they're from?
Portland, yeah. And the University of Oregon is in Eugene. And the guy who started Nike, Phil Knight, I think is his name, Phil Knight, is that
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Phil Knight, he was a track athlete at University of Oregon.
And he's a Vietnam vet as well, right?
Is he? I'm not sure. But he was a track athlete at Oregon, and then when he decided to start making shoes, there was another really big track star at Oregon at the time who was like on the Olympic team and stuff, and he was the first sponsored athlete. So now, like the university football team over there is all Nike gear to the point, and this is where the budget for university football is just insane. Over there, University of Oregon, they never play in the same jersey twice, ever. So if you have a player that plays all 12 games, I think, all 12 games of the season, every season for the 4 years that they're at college, they will leave university with 48 different jerseys.
Wow. That's ridiculous.
Insane.
But that's sponsorship.
That's sponsorship from Nike, yeah. So Nike pours a lot of money into the University of Oregon. It's probably not the most, I guess, as far as value goes, it's probably not the highest paid sponsorship deal that Nike has because of just some of the athletes that they pay.
Like they had Tiger and they still have Tiger. And
Yeah.
all those guys.
But it's probably one of the coolest ones because that's where a lot of their new equipment and stuff goes first, almost as like a tester. But the University of Oregon's ridiculous. Like their football budget is close to this, like high 100 millions a year.
Wow.
That's an insane amount of money.
And can you see it in the training facilities and stuff like that?
100%. So I'll just give you an idea. When we walked into the weight room for the football team, it's only the football team is allowed to use this particular building.
Yeah,
it's
there's multiple training facilities though around the university.
So there's pretty much football and track have their own spaces, and then everything else has another gym.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's sort of attached to the sports science area where there's a bit of like force plates and some biomechanics cameras and that sort of thing set up. But the football building itself is bigger than all the other facilities for all the other sports combined. 70% of the sports raised funds for the college comes from football, 15% comes from basketball, and then the other 15% is split across 15 other sports.
Wow.
14 other sports.
What do they get? Like, what's their ROI then? Like, what's the reason that they spend so much money on football? Is it because that's what drives admission to the university?
It drives admission, and there is a lot of money in it. Like, they have their own stadium, so you got to think about ticketing, season passes, boosters, like boosters, which are like families that pour money into the university for the teams and stuff. So like you have old players who still love the team, so they pour money into it.
Yeah.
To try and make sure that it keeps going good because they're alums and that sort of alumni.
Yeah.
But one of the guys that we spoke to over there actually said to us, he thinks that in some cases, and the University of Oregon being one of them, there's probably more money in college football than there is in the NFL.
Wow. But the players don't
the players don't get paid, though. That's why. So, for example, Sean Herbert, I hope I'm getting that name right, is number 10. He's quarterback for University of Oregon.
Yeah.
And he'll go like probably first round in the draft next year. His jersey in their merchandise store is $325 US.
Wow.
It's like $520 Australian.
Yeah.
And so they're making that much money off his brand every time someone buys a jersey, and he sees $0 of that because they're not allowed to pay him. But, and this is a good point that someone brought up to me the other day, the amount of money that really he saves by being on a full scholarship there is a lot of money. Like they're paying for whatever he's doing. It's probably like $70,000 a year for 4 years.
Why do bugs just attack you on this podcast?
I don't know. Yeah, like $70,000 a year for 4 years. That's 280 grand that he doesn't have to pay anything off because he's on the football team.
That's true. And for someone who's, I mean, the Oregon team is probably a very good team, but not all of those players are going to actually make it to the NFL, right?
No, the percentage is less than 1%.
Okay.
Players that play in college that make it to the NFL.
So those guys are on a full ride.
Yeah.
And it's only not worth it for that guy that is going to make it to the NFL.
Yes.
Then, because he's going to be... But then he wouldn't make it to the NFL if he wasn't on it, right?
Exactly, yeah. So their football team, they have 120 people on the squad. That's nowhere near the playing squad. Like 40 of those guys will never see playing time.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's a thing. Like NFL teams have ridiculous, size teams.
It's
right?
not as massive as you maybe think it is. Like when they list a starting team in the NFL, they have 53 players on the squad.
Yeah.
Which is still huge, right? But if you think about
how many people are on the field at once though?
Shit, that's a good question. 11?
Oh, okay. So that's still like...
But you have whole O-line, whole D-line, special teams, reserves.
What's special teams?
Special teams is like punts, kick returns. Oh, so whole offensive special teams, defensive special teams. You have teams that switch in and out, whether if it's a guy punting or kicking for goal, like field goal. Like there's a lot of players that get game time depending on the situation.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's very like it's a chessboard, right? Except you can take on and off the pieces.
Yeah, exactly.
That you need at the same time.
For sure.
Yeah, so that's weird because then you also have that means that you have definitely specialty players that might be useless, running, but are just perfect for that one kick you need.
Like you even think about it in the NFL, you think about the amount of money. There's kickers in the NFL that are on a couple of $1 million a year that have maybe 20 seconds of game time each game.
Yeah.
Some games where they don't even play at all, depending on the situations. Especially if you're a field goal kicker, a punter probably gets a little bit more time because a drive gets stopped pretty regularly. 4th down, you've got to punt upfield. But a field goal kicker, unless you're within range to actually kick a field goal on 4th down, they're probably not going to take you. You're probably not going to go out.
Yeah.
In saying that, there was a guy in the game on the weekend, I think Rams kicked a 62-yard field goal. It's 1 yard short of the NFL record, I think.
Wow.
It's a long kick. Long kick. It was cool.
What I really like about this conversation is I know nothing about NFL, and I'm just sitting here
my knowledge is very
field
limited.
goal.
Most of my knowledge has come from the last 2 weeks of talking to people about
And was that good? Did you learn a lot about the NFL? Or learn about gridiron?
Yeah, I learned a fair bit. Yeah, I learned a bit. So I feel like I can watch a game and have more understanding of what's going on now.
You're not just whoa, that guy doesn't know how to tackle.
Yeah.
He uses his head.
Yeah. Even still though, we had that conversation with some of the sports scientists and stuff over there. There's even been some push recently from third parties about maybe if they can get rid of, take helmets out of the sport, people will be less inclined to lead with the head because they feel like they've got a helmet on. They're we can do it. And you even see at the end of a play when it was a good play, 2 players to psych each other up, they're banging helmets on each other and stuff. It's like getting jabbed by Floyd Mayweather. You're getting that shit put through your head. It's not going to have a good effect later in life. You do that 5 times every game for your entire career, you're going to have some brain damage.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen when they when they obviously the face plate, the grill.
Yeah.
A player will grab the grill of their teammate and pull it into their head.
Yeah, and
so not only is the force of them headbutting, but they're also pulling with their arms. So you can only imagine the amount of what is it Is it CTI?
CTE.
CTE. Yeah. Traumatic.
Yeah, Will Smith discovered that.
Discovered what?
CTE.
Did he?
Have you not seen that movie? Concussion?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, that joke went over your head then.
Have you heard that his newest movie bombed really bad? Gemini?
I haven't seen it.
No, I haven't seen it either. But I've heard that.
Doesn't surprise me.
Not that
Bond.
good.
He's been. I feel like Will Smith has been on a steady decline. Yeah.
Which is sad.
Yeah, because he's such a good actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since.
7 pounds.
Really? You think that long ago he was on
Yeah.
a decline?
Yeah.
No.
What movie after that was
I Am
good?
Legend was really good.
Was that after 7 pounds?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. After I Am Legend, everything was bad.
Concussion was really good. You haven't seen it.
No, I haven't seen it.
It was good. Concussion was really good. That Netflix film
Right.
that he did was shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was trash. The one he did with his kid was trash.
Yes. Oh, that was.
After Earth?
Yeah,
Is
that was
one?
horrid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was horrid.
That was a waste of time.
I know you maybe didn't like. I enjoyed Focus as a film with Margot Robbie.
No, it was trash. You know what? Any movie that is like basically like a cheap knockoff of Ocean's 11 is just not that good. I like the premise of it.
I liked it.
Is it because you like Margot Robbie though?
No, it's because I like Will Smith.
I like Will Smith too. I just don't think he was that slick in it. No one can pull it off like Brad Pitt and George Clooney. Like they are the slickest guys in Hollywood. Matt Damon was in that movie. Ocean's 11 is one of my favorite movies.
I love Ocean's 11.
Ocean's 8 was trash.
I haven't seen it, and I'm going to probably never see it.
Mm.
Yeah.
But then I liked... So, like, I'm not saying this because I don't like the all-female cast, but I didn't like the all-female cast. I just didn't like the actual, like...
Premise?
The cast.
Oh, the cast, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
it just was wooden, like... I didn't mind the new Ghostbusters movie. The all-female Ghostbusters movie. That was pretty funny.
Was it? Yeah, I haven't seen it. Yes. I have a question for you. Okay, this is a completely off topic now, but I was listening to another podcast earlier on and someone asked about it. I thought I'd ask about it as well.
Okay.
How do you want to go? When you die, what's the smoothest way to go? Like, do you want to go out in flames because it's cool to talk about? People are going to talk about, fuck yeah, that's how Andy died. Or do you want to talk about...
Haven't we talked about this on a podcast already?
Have we?
Yeah, I told you my biggest fear was dying by the plague. Or like being like not remembered for
Oh,
the way
we
I
have.
died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, scratch that one then.
But I will tell you that that is the way I want to go out. I want to go out in a blaze of glory.
Yeah.
Be like, oh my god, did you see that like that terrorist was taking
Oh,
down
yeah,
that
we did
plane?
talk about this. Yeah, like the roof fell in on him or something. Yeah,
and
yeah.
And he saved the day, but lost his life. That's how I want to go
That's
out.
how you want to go out.
Even if it's not factually what happened, like I was actually trying to run, but
Probably more realistic.
yeah, that's how I want to be remembered. It's more about legacy than it is about like how I want to actually go. Like I don't want to go in a painful way.
Yeah.
And to be honest, if I had a heart attack while I was attacking that terrorist, that'd probably be best case scenario. Like I'm gonna, save everyone.
Yeah.
Painless.
Yeah.
What
That's
about
fair.
you?
I actually want to go in my sleep.
Yeah, that's
Just-
boring.
Yeah, I know. Just drift off in the middle of the night.
And then someone stabs you.
And then someone stabs me. Yeah, well, after I'm dead, that's fine. So then I can be like, yeah, he was trying to fight off the killer. And the killer
And then had a heart
laid him
attack
down
because he's
pieces.
such a bitch.
Yeah. No, I'm hoping after they see stab wounds that they don't bother with the autopsy. They're just like, oh yeah, he died that way.
Yeah.
I feel like stab would be really bad.
You know what would be really bad? If you got stabbed and then they found you doing an autopsy and they're like, oh, that's weird. Why did he come? Or if you're being strangled in the
Fuck! That was literally where I was going with it, trying to lead into that joke.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I came up with it on the car ride over because they were talking about
Auto asphyxiation.
auto asphyxiation, and then I was going to be like, maybe someone strangled me. One last orgasm. That was where I was trying to go with it. I couldn't get into it though. As soon as you said we've already spoken about this, it threw me. I was like, fuck, we have too.
Oh well. Hey, did you listen to the Sober October podcast that like they did on Rogan?
No, I haven't listened to it. Is that with Jocko and everyone?
No. With like Rogan, Ari Shaffir,
Tom Segura.
Tom Segura.
No, I haven't listened to it. I listened to them talking about it on separate podcasts. I listened to Rogan talking about it.
You
with
should
someone.
listen to it because this is a really dick thing. But so like Bert Kreischer and Ari Shafir, they did a podcast together, and Ari Shafir spiked Bert Kreischer's drink with Molly. Like, you obviously find that funny, but what if someone did that to you? What if I did that to you? Like, because we're good friends. If you were, like, just drinking your coffee and you're like, oh, I feel a bit weird. And then I was, like, jumping around and having a good time. You're like, what the hell is wrong with you? Are you on Molly? And then I was like, are you? Like, wait, am I? Because that's actually what happened on the podcast.
Yeah. It would depend at what point you told me I was on Molly.
Now.
I think.
Surprise!
I was watching the Cups. Really good.
Apparently not. You did like 6 shots.
Yeah. I don't know. I have had friends do that to other people.
So not good friends.
No, not good friends. And it's gone two ways. It's gone like, why the fuck would you do that to me? Because it was at both times. It was at a party, right? And we were at a party, and one of the guys was having a beer bong, and then it was like you're here, you have to have a beer bong. That's the first thing you do when you walk in the door of the party. And for what first guy that did it, they dropped a bit of Molly in the top of his beer bong, and then he did it and finished the beer bong, and he goes, "Did I just swallow a Molly?" And then he was like, "Yeah, you did." And he was like, "Free drugs." And then the second guy that they did it to was like, "What the fuck? Like, why the fuck would you do that?" I think that would be my reaction. Why the fuck are you like spiking my drink?
Yeah. Why not just ask?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you cannot walk around anywhere in Oregon, LA, or Vegas and not have a potent weed smell in the air anymore.
That's what it's like in Vancouver as well.
Is it? Yeah, like it's just everywhere. Everywhere. And you could walk into a street corner shop and just buy a joint.
Did you?
Yes.
Was it really nice?
Yes, it was.
It's good to live in a constant state of highness, right?
Yeah. I wasn't in a constant state of highness. I had one day at the beach where we were probably like nice the whole time. Like, because they're big joints, right? So you buy a joint for like $10, and then literally we were just like, I spoke to the guy that I was with and we were talking about it, like just enough to take the edge off every hour sort of thing. So you just light it, have like 3 puffs each, put it back in its little container, close it off, an hour later, do it again, sort of thing. Just enough to be like, I'm in a good mood, but not enough to be like, I'm fucking high.
Yeah, but you also had like learning and stuff to do as well.
Oh, this was after we'd finished.
Oh, okay.
So this was like on the last day when we had nothing to do anymore.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to do it on the other days. Although we did have a couple of big nights where then I had to get up and go to interviews and stuff. And I was like,
well, so like Kush's place, she lives in the middle of the city, so I'd come down from her apartment and Kush would be at work. So like I had nothing else to do, so I'd go take the bike and go for a ride, but there's a dispensary right on the corner near our house. So I'd go buy a J and then take it with me to the park, smoke a J, ride around, take some photos, go hiking, and like it is the best.
Yeah, just leaving that constant state of being a bit high.
Yeah, because, and I wouldn't just like have a few puffs, put it away. I'd finish that J and then just walk around for the next hour, just like
spaced out.
Yeah, not spaced out. Like I had a lot of like deep thinking.
Were you smoking like an indica or a sativa?
I was smoking hybrids.
Really?
Indica sativa blend.
There you go. See, everything we could really get in LA was all indica. That's why I didn't want to smoke too much of it either, because I wanted to enjoy the day, like throw the football around and stuff. I didn't want to be like
lazy
sitting down. Whereas if we could have found a sativa or something, I think it might have been better. For anyone who doesn't know, because they're only from Australia and are not potheads, an indica is a strand of weed that is more like, makes you sit down. Like the description is like couch bound, like it makes you couch bound. You feel, it's like a real body high. Like you feel lazy, but you feel good. And then a sativa is more like a bit of a head high, has a slightly more like hallucinogenic properties and
working man's weed.
Yeah, and you actually feel a little bit more like, it actually makes you, it's like a bit more like an upper. It almost makes you feel a little bit more energetic.
And when weed finally does get legalized here in 2029.
Yeah, I know. We're going to be so far behind the rest of the world.
Like you'll see that just like beer, just like coffee, just like everything, there's so many different strands, there's so many different like flavors and types, and
Yeah.
Whatever. And when you go to a dispensary, and I do like recommend this, if you go, even if you're not going to buy something, go to a dispensary and just see what's on offer. If you go to a country that's like where it's legal, and you'll just be like, oh wow, I thought you just go, this is very different from, going down to the alleyway and being like, hey Steve,
well, there was a joke.
What do you got for me?
There was a joke that I think it was Tom Segura. He did a bit where he was like, I buy weed off my. Used to buying weed from like a guy in a dodgy Toyota Camry or something.
Yes.
So then when I go in and buy it off a guy in a legal store, and I'm like, I'll be back in a minute, man. I'm just gonna go put this in my car, and the guy's like, why? Man, you can smoke that out the front. Like it doesn't. He's like, oh yeah, I forgot that we could do that shit now.
Are you excited to see him? He's coming in.
Yeah.
Unless he cancels again.
Yeah, which then we get our money back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Well, have you paid Jenny yet?
Yeah, I paid Jenny ages ago. I paid him before I left the States. I knew if I didn't pay him before I left the States, it would be like.
Did you spend a lot of money over that?
Yeah, a fair bit of money. Pet peeve.
Tipping?
Yes, but not really. No, it's not too bad. Because I actually find that I over tip too much, or like sometimes tip people that don't really need a tip. Like, cause I don't know the culture. I'm not really sure who you're supposed to tip and who you're not supposed to tip. So like people that aren't even really goods and services, like they're still getting a tip, kind of thing.
Like a bus driver?
No, not like a bus driver. Like, are you supposed to tip the person who does your bags at the shopping, at the grocery store?
No, it's a grocery store.
See, that's what I mean. Like, I don't know.
You tip there?
Like, I just leave $1 on the counter.
Oh. Well, how much did you spend? 10?
Like 15, yeah.
You under tip then?
Yeah. My pet peeve. What was my pet peeve? Oh, when you're with a group of... So the whole trip, we were with a group of 14 people.
It's a big group.
Yep. So in that whole trip over the 2.5 weeks, we probably had to purchase 80 Ubers. Like over the 2.5 weeks. Maybe 80 Ubers. I got probably like 6 or 7 Ubers for the group, so not including like when 2 or 3 of us went out to have a beer or something. 6 or 7 Ubers, and then the 2 professors that were there had a card from the university that they had an Uber budget for, so they were buying an Uber each every time. So out of the 80 Ubers, probably only 35 of them needed to be bought by 30 needed to be bought by students. I probably bought 6 or 7 out of the 14 people. There's another 2 people who probably bought 4 or 5. And then there was a group of 4 people from Melbourne. If you ever listen to my podcast, I'm fucking talking about you. Between the 4 of them, bought 3 group Ubers the whole time. Between 4 of them.
Yeah.
It's fucking unbelievable, man. I got so shitty. I called them out on the last day. I was like, you guys are fuckwits. You have to pay for Ubers. Like, I've spent $300 on Ubers this trip. You guys have spent fucking $600 on shopping and $20 on an Uber.
Wow. That's a shitty thing.
Yeah.
I am all for, like, you spending money on the tribe.
Yeah, 100%.
Like,
yeah,
you go out together. If, like, for example, we went out to the city before you left. Like, I'm all for, like, splitting the Ubers. Like, that's fair.
Yeah, 100%.
You're all going out there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it doesn't... Paying for something doesn't bother me at all. Like, if there's a group of people and, like, we walk in and it's like, who's going to get the first round? Like, my hand will be... I'll be at the bar before the question's even asked. Like, it doesn't bother me at all. If we're like, who's going to pay for the Uber? I'll be like, it's like $10 Uber back to our hotel. Like, when we were in Philadelphia, it's like, who's going to pay for the Uber? Yeah, I'll get it. It's only $10. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I just do it for the group. It doesn't matter. And those are the types of people I want to hang out with. I fucking hate hanging out with someone where you're like, who's going to get the Uber? And the first thing they do is go and look away. Like, oh, it's not going to be me. I'll wait for someone else to volunteer. Like, just put your fucking hand up. Like, it's like the beer economy, right? Like, if I buy you a beer when we go get lunch this time, I know in 3 weeks' time when we go get lunch and have a beer again, you'll probably buy the beer.
Like, or the meal economy.
Yeah, meal economy.
We do it as well, right?
Yeah, it all comes back around if you're doing it with good people.
But those are the people you want. So what is the etiquette with Uber now? Because taxis was kind of easy because you could split it quite easily in the sense that, like, everyone...
Well, you can do a split fare with Uber now.
So you can do
on
that?
the app. Yeah.
So why don't they just do that?
Because they're fuckwits. Because what they would do is just every single time
Change person that they're going with.
they would very quickly jump in with the professors who were paying for it. So then they'd be like, "Oh, well, we weren't in that Uber,"
Yeah.
and you're like, "I know, like, but
Someone was.
someone was
Yeah.
like, it's supposed to be a group thing. Like, if you think that we spent $1,400 on Ubers the whole trip, everyone should have spent $100 each or thereabouts.
Yeah.
14 people, 14 Ubers. But instead, it was like $800 was split between about 3 or 4 people, and the rest was dispersed amongst everyone else. But it very quickly found out like those were the people I was hanging out with the whole trip. Like, those are the people I went to get drinks with, like when we were in Vegas.
Yeah, and maybe that's a good thing because it made it so that you didn't have to spend time with shit people.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I don't like those people anyway. Like, they might seem fun, but like, they're very surface level, right?
Yeah. I like, even like we've had a couple of friends that will never go into rounds or something like that. Which, you know what? If you go, look, I'm not going to drink as much as you guys, so I'm not going to get in a round. That's pretty fine. But I hate those guys that go out, take the round, don't pay the round back. Like, that kills me. And it happens, I think it's almost my own problem sometimes.
Because you offer in on the first.
Because I always offer on the first round.
Yeah.
So if you have 4 people in a round, you only get halfway through the next one. You're not getting those 2 drinks back.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so what? But it's those people that are always the last guy in a round and then intentionally bail before it's theirs. Like, that gives me the shits.
Well, I think it always pays to be either the last person on a round, last person to get around in a big group, or the first person to get around. Because, especially if it's a big night, first person to get around, like, you've already got that intangible goodwill with the group.
Yeah.
And then if you're the last person, you'll be like the last person that they remember got around.
Yeah.
Because after that, especially if you have like 6 or 7 people,
Yeah.
by that 8th drink, they might not even remember who's getting rounds up.
Yeah. And generally, if you have a group that big, by the time you've had 8 beers, the group's kind of separated anyway.
Yes.
So you have like, you and me are off by ourselves, so we're just buying drinks for each other rather than
That's true.
the rest of the group. It almost pays, it does pay sometimes to be the first in the round if it's a big night, because by the time you get to drink 8, everyone might have been like, no, we're not on beers anymore, let's get bourbon and cokes. Yeah. So the round goes from costing $60 to $100.
That's very true. That's very true.
And although there is always that prick in the round that goes, oh no, I'll have a bourbon and coke, thanks. And you're like, that's $4 more expensive than what everyone else has been paying for. Like,
so what's the etiquette with that then?
You shouldn't be able to.
Yeah, you just go, you
finish the round with what you started.
You get what everyone else got?
Pretty much, yeah.
But what if you're all doing spirits and like, are you allowed? So like, let's say you're doing like bourbon and cokes, but one guy's like, hey, actually, I only drink vodka. Is that okay?
I don't know. If you guys make a group decision that you're going to shift, then I guess you just kind of got to foot the bill if you're on the round.
Yeah.
Like, there's not much you can do about it.
And what if you're like, all right, we're just going to do whiskey neats, and the one guy's like, yeah, I only like Johnny Blue.
Yeah. We're not doing that then.
Or is it always like house spirits?
It's always house spirits, yeah. Like, if you're doing spirits on rounds, it's house spirits.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to go and buy a bloody pina colada for your mate's missus because that's what she wanted. Like, we're drinking bourbon and cokes, that's what you're going to drink. But even, you see it sometimes, like, I'll go up and order a round of beer, so I'll go up and be like, hey, 8 lashes, please. Like, at the Fiddler, for example, I'll go up and be like, everyone's having lashes, and there'll be 2 guys that are like, oh, actually, can I have a VB? And the other one's like, can I have a Furphy? So then rather than going up and going, can I have 8 lashes? You got to go, can I have 6 lashes, 1 Furphy and 1 VB?
Yeah.
Like, just drink what everyone's drinking.
Well, that's what the
it should be
towers are really
dictated
good for,
by,
right?
yes, yeah. It should be dictated by who's buying the round. Like, if it's your round and you're having a Furphy, everyone's having a Furphy.
Yeah.
That should be the way it runs.
Unless you're getting a Guinness. And you're like,
in which case, yeah, you buy what everyone else fucking wants. Cause
you'd be like, I'm going to have a Guinness, and then these guys are going to have all Furfies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or something better.
Something better. I was going to say, we're not really big Furphy drinkers, are we? What about your mate Adrian saying that our beers get worse and worse every episode?
Yeah, I agree.
Do you?
Yeah.
No. Peroni was the worst.
But the Squire...
was the best one.
Remember.
Swindler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Swindler was the best. We started with the best.
We did start with the best.
And it's just been going downhill. Because if you rate them, Squire's number 1. It's either Furphy or Peroni number 2.
Are you going to put VB at the bottom?
What was the third beer that we had? Oh no, that was
Furphy.
So 4th is VB. Yeah, VB's last.
VB's second.
Maybe.
Peroni's last. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy with having Peroni like closer to the bottom, but VB has to be at the bottom for me.
Swindler, VB, Furphy, Peroni.
I think we just.
I had a Peroni in the States and I nearly spat it out.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy it at all. I don't know why I enjoyed it that day that we had it. Like I found it pretty okay. I think it's just because I was in the mood to drink beer.
Yeah, and we were also both like we had a big night the night before, so it was like an easy drinking beer. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Maybe the taste of beer is also dictated by the company though. Like, if you're having a good time, any beer is gonna go down.
Yeah, that's true. Also, one of the guys I was drinking with when we got lunch at Venice Beach the other day.
Oh, did you go to Muscle Beach? Is that?
Yeah, but it was being refurbed, so you couldn't go in. Like, we were talking the whole trip how we were going to go do a max bench at Venice Beach, at Muscle Beach, and we couldn't.
Wait, why would you choose that to do there? That seems like, wouldn't you choose something you're good at?
Like bench?
I don't know. Cleans?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I should have done cleans. Did you see that video of, what's his name, who dressed up?
Oh, like, he did like an Uncle Drew type
Uncle
thing?
Drew type thing?
Yeah.
Who was it? I can't remember his name.
Was it Panchik? No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't Panchik. It was...
He was a redhead guy, right?
Maybe.
No, it wasn't Olsen though, was it?
No, it wasn't Olsen. I'm having a mental blank. We literally spoke about it the other day. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Anyway, the rings at Muscle Beach, and all across Venice Beach and stuff, where the calisthenics setups are.
Was that open?
Yeah.
Did you play on that?
Yeah, I had a bit of a play on that.
Did you get any footage of it?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
I did.
You didn't put anything up?
No.
Will you?
No.
Will you show
not.
me that?
Yeah, I'll show you. I jumped up because we were at a calisthenics thing, so I wanted to do only strict muscle ups.
Yeah.
But the shitty carbon fiber or whatever the rings are made out of are so slippery in the sun. I couldn't hold a false grip at all, and I can't do a strict muscle up without a false grip on rings.
Yeah.
So I just can't get up there.
Everyone brings their own chalk and stuff, right?
Yeah. So everyone had chalk, and I was just like, can't hold false grip. But yeah, it was fun. Really good. I really enjoyed Venice Beach, actually. Venice Beach was really cool. LA, however, is a shithole.
Really?
Yeah, don't think I ever need to go back to LA unless I'm just going to spend 3 days chilling at the beach, drinking beers and that sort of thing. We went up to Hollywood. Shit, hated it. Hated every second of being in Hollywood. Then we came back down to Santa Monica to try and go out to a nightclub. The nightclubs were all...
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't a fan.
What was Vegas like?
Vegas was cool. We were there, and I believe it was intentionally organised by the guy running the course to be there on a Monday and a Tuesday, and not be there on a weekend. So we had a really big night on the Monday, got back at 4 a.m. sort of thing. It was a lot of fun. It was really fun. We went downstairs at our own casino to start off, played some blackjack, some roulette, some craps, slapped pokies a little bit, got some drinks and that sort of thing, and then we just went up the strip. So we got dinner at an Irish bar on the way up, had a couple of beers there, went up to the MGM Grand, had a look around, went up to Bellagio, across to Caesar's Palace, just gambling, went over to, I think, pretty much the only nightclub that was open on the strip on a Monday night.
What's it is? I thought Vegas was a city that never sleeps.
It is, and it was still busy, but I'm assuming a Friday, Saturday, Sunday
Goes off.
Yeah. I would like to if I ever went back to Vegas, I would go in the middle of summer on a weekend when you can go up to one of the rooftop pool parties and that sort of thing, because they weren't really on.
Yeah.
When we were there, it's the middle of autumn over there now, middle of fall, so it's not really.
Isn't it still warm?
It's still warm, but people aren't really going to Vegas anymore. It's sort of died off a little bit.
Did you do any gambling?
Yeah, a fair bit. Lost a lot of money.
Oh.
Yeah, I set a bit of a budget. I got out $500 US. It was that's my budget. I got up a few times on blackjack, and then got down. Like I should have just taken it out. I was only up like maybe.
What are their
$100.
like minimums on the tables?
I was playing mainly $15 tables.
Okay.
Yeah, $15 minimums, and then the maxes are like ridiculous. Like even on a $15 table, the max is still 10 grand.
Yeah.
Which
And were there people on there? Like, did you see any like really big spenders where you were like, "Holy crap,
the high rollers.
that guy spent more money than I will ever make"?
Not that I saw. Not really. But there's high roller areas in the casinos as well that I obviously didn't go to. It's funny, we tried to play the system a little bit. Our Uber driver said to us before we got there, you get free drinks as long as you're playing.
Yeah.
So like, there's a girl wandering around. But we got away with it a couple of times where like you sit down on a poker machine literally as she's coming over.
Yeah.
And then call her, get a drink, and then you just slap slowly.
Yeah.
Until she comes back with your drink, take your money out and piss off.
Yeah.
And then, but the pokies are so enticing. Like you just, when you sit there, you go, okay, I'm going to sit here and slap slowly. But it's intentionally set up that it takes 10 minutes for her to come back with your drink. And you're like, I'm just going to slap once a minute. But you almost can't help yourself. Like you sit there and you just like slap. And you just keep hitting it. And then you're like, I've ended up slapping the amount that the drink would have cost anyway.
Yeah.
I should have just gone and bought the drink, save myself the time and effort.
Are drinks expensive?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
pretty expensive. Drinks are pretty expensive. That's why we tried to get away with it.
Yeah.
Also, shit beer grew on me by the end.
Really?
Yeah, like I was actually enjoying drinking a Budweiser by the end.
Well, they're easy to drink. But they are just like, they just taste like they're watered down beer.
They're an average beer. They're a very average beer. I don't know why everyone's so obsessed with Bud Light over there.
Because you can, it's like pure blondes, right? You can drink a few and not have the heavy carb hit and stuff. Is it low alcohol content or low carb content?
Both.
Okay.
I believe. They're really big on their light beers, like Coors Light sponsors in Oregon. The Oregon team, Coors, yeah, and Miller Lights, like they drink heaps of Miller Lights, Bud Light, Coors Light. I don't know what the go is with all the light beer.
What was the absolute standout thing from your trip?
UFC Performance Institute.
Tell me about that.
That was awesome. So
I'm just going to check the camera's still going while you tell me.
So UFC is in Vegas, and it's just cool the way that it's set up because nobody there is actually owned by the UFC, if that makes sense. They contract themselves for individual fights.
Yeah.
And the UFC Performance Institute is really set up in a way that it's just supposed to make the UFC money. Yeah. Fighters don't pay to go there. They try and encourage fighters to go there as much as they can. And why it was originally designed was they were having a lot of fights cancelled at the last minute due to either injury or failure to make weight, and then the opponent... Actually, this is something cool that I didn't realise in the UFC. If your opponent fails to make weight, you can still choose to fight him anyway. So if you and me are fighting and I don't make weight, you can be like, I say I miss weight by a pound, and you're like, I'll fight him anyway, but then I still have to fight you, and I give up 70% of my card to you.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you choose to fight me, you're fighting a guy that's got a weight advantage, but you're taking 70% of his check at the end of it.
And you don't have a choice.
And I don't have a choice. Like, I have to fight.
Yeah. Because it was your fault.
Because it was your fault. Yeah.
Because you're basically breaching contract.
Yeah. But obviously, every time someone was injured or didn't make weight and the other guy didn't agree to fight, there's money lost by the UFC because that fight doesn't go ahead. So what they were essentially trying to do is be like...
Mitigate that risk.
Mitigate that risk. So we're going to set this up, help people cut weight properly, make sure they're cutting weight well, trying to prolong their careers so that they do more fights, they make more money for the UFC, and then little injury things, make sure they've got something set up that they've got massive teams of professionals surrounding the athlete so that they can help him get better faster.
Yeah.
Make sure he doesn't get injured before a fight. Like maybe guys go and do their camp there, so then all their loads and stuff are properly managed by someone that knows what they're talking about. Not saying their coaches don't know what they're talking about, but the guys at UFC, like just talking to them, are insanely knowledgeable. Like stupidly knowledgeable. Like the guy who is essentially the high performance manager and overseer for the entire institute, Duncan French, he's like insanely smart, like unbelievable. Like just knows, like even when I pried a little bit into areas that were maybe a little bit more that he delegated to other people, like the neuro side of things, and like they play around a lot with like ocular reaction and that sort of thing, and prying into that with him, like you rattled it off, like you knew exactly what he was talking about. I was like, how wide must your knowledge base be? But it's also so specific in each of those individual things. So it's not like an exercise scientist who knows a little bit about everything to do with sport. He knows a lot about everything.
Yeah.
Like, but he's just been in it for so long. I don't know exactly how old he is. He'd be
early 40s?
Maybe 40s? Like mid 40s.
Yeah, okay. But still, like the UFC hasn't been around that long.
No, not at all.
Where did he come from?
EPL, English Premier League soccer.
Okay. Where sports science is a big deal.
Yeah, and I think
they're dealing with more money there, right?
Yeah, and I think he worked with. I don't think the UFC was his first experience with combat sports. I think he worked with some Olympic teams for combat as
like
well.
Boxing or
boxing,
wrestling,
like wrestling, kickboxing, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think he had a fair bit to do with them as well. But yeah, like insane knowledge and just the setup, like the amount of money that's been poured into that place is unbelievable. Yeah, it's really, really cool. So you walk in the front door, walk straight through, it's funny how all the places I went to over there talked a lot about the way the building is laid out is sort of your step-by-step getting into training. So you walk in, first thing you get to, locker rooms. You go in, chuck your stuff down, get changed, walk through. Next room that you walk into, like massage, PT, physio, or athlete trainers over there for sporting teams. So you go in there, you get a little bit of pre-training treatment. Then you've got weight room, upstairs, combat room where there's rings, floor mats and stuff for rolling and all that sort of stuff. And then you walk back downstairs through the gym, maybe go get some more treatment, walk straight across the thing into the cafeteria, kitchen area, eat, come back. You have to walk back through the training area. Like just the way the building is laid out flows through how their day should run. Yeah. As well, which is pretty cool.
Like, that is super cool, man.
Well, they were pretty much given, like they built the space, right? So they were like, okay, this is how we want it to be built. Yeah. And they looked a lot into how it should be laid out psychologically for an athlete as well. Yeah. Which was pretty interesting.
Yeah. It's cool that they think about everything. It's such a holistic approach.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
But stand out 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. And just the stuff that they're playing with as well, like in their recovery and that sort of thing. The amount of underwater treadmills I saw over there were pretty interesting. Like the underwater treadmills are on a jack and it's just a conveyor belt that people can walk or run underwater on. That's pretty cool.
Well, that would be really helpful for combat athletes where they have like
so much impact,
yeah. Just taking that impact away, but still, and then adding resistance in a different way. Like you're reducing gravity, you're reducing down forces, but you're increasing like friction. Yeah. So, like that's very cool.
Yeah. One thing that is really funny about is I think you said to me a little while ago, maybe on your podcast, Raw Barbell podcast. I know. I quickly brought it up for you. I said that you said to me, this trip would probably be like either a make or break. Like you'd be like, that's not the lifestyle I want, or like
it's gonna be something you love,
or it's gonna be something I love. I said to you ages ago that I was gonna take. I probably wasn't gonna bother doing a masters. I'll probably do a masters next year.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
that's exciting.
So, yeah, it's pretty cool. The trip was awesome, and like
so you'll be forever in debt.
Yes. Yeah. Mhm.
Welcome to the club.
I'll just try to never make enough money that I have to pay it off.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, that's how smart people do it.
No, just go work overseas. Go to the UFC Institute.
Yeah, that'd be the dream. Absolute dream. So cool over there. What about you? What's next for you?
Right now? Just nationals, man. all the cards on the table for that.
Mm.
So that's this Saturday. Pretty excited.
Do you have a shot?
No.
No?
No chance.
What class are you lifting in?
81.
Ah, okay. That's the most competitive class.
It's a very competitive class. But I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really strong. I don't feel very mobile. All the strongman training is sort of catching up. But yeah, like cleans feel like super easy to stand out of. Like I could probably clean 130 on the regular, which for me is like a tough thing.
I've noticed you've been doing a lot of powers.
Yeah, so that's something that scared me last week because that's all I've been doing for 3 months. I haven't really done any fulls.
But you've been doing heaps of squats, heaps of squatting.
Heaps of squatting.
Same.
Actually, no, I've reduced my squatting volume too, so I'm only squatting twice a week.
Are you still jumping?
Yeah, I'm doing a jump training. Yeah. Shout out to Fativan Jump.
Fativan jumps. Fativan hops.
Yeah. I'm not doing any this week.
That's
as I
fine.
taper
You got
down.
nationals, yeah.
So I'll be a week behind. But I have been doing them. And my jump is improving. Like I randomly went off program and jumped 110 last week without a step, and then 120 with a step. Really easy. And that was after...
What's your best 140?
120 is my best in the last 2 years. That's the highest I've jumped.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure I've jumped high back when I used to train with you.
Yeah.
Ages ago.
Oh, you went off program.
No.
I really...
Well, I didn't, not that I went off program. Like someone had the boxes stacked up and was like, "Do you think you could jump on this?" I was like, and I jumped on it. So I did one jump.
Okay.
But you didn't want me to test until
I didn't want you to test until the end, yeah. That was the whole idea of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that doesn't matter.
I don't know why you thought I'd do that. Like, be a good athlete.
Yeah, I don't know why I ever expected you to follow program properly.
You expect too much from me.
Yeah. That's fair. I did have something else that I wanted to... Oh, just back to the trip really quickly. College parties. Yeah, I know. So funny. So we, when we were in Oregon, we didn't get let into this bar because we didn't realise that in Oregon you have to have your passport as ID. We didn't have to have a passport in Philly or Vegas. Like, the license was fine, but in Oregon, because it's not an Oregon license, you need your passport. And we...
What's that?
Got turned away from there, but there was a whole bunch of house parties going on down the road.
Yeah.
And one of the guys that we were talking to earlier in the night literally said, he was like, "No one gives a shit if you rock up to a house party as long as you take your own beer.
Yeah.
Like, just don't go in and start stealing people's beer."
Yeah.
So we went to the service station, because you can buy beer at a service station.
Yeah.
Bought a couple of 6-packs of Bud and
Yeah.
just walked up the road and just walked straight into this party.
Yeah.
It was fine. Like, but so weird, this particular party we went to a couple others that were better, but it was like just the downstairs area of this flat, and it was just almost as big as the room that we're sitting in now. Not huge. Would have been 80 people crammed in there, just Spanish music playing.
Yeah.
And it was so weird because everyone knew the words. Like everyone in this party was singing the words to these
And
songs.
were they all Latino? Or
No, they weren't all Latino. Like, I was talking to this South African tennis player.
But they knew the words.
They knew the words, and I was like, "The fuck's
Wait,
going on?"
this was in Oregon?
Yeah.
Is there a big Spanish community in Oregon?
No.
So is it just popular music?
Must just be popular music, yeah.
Was it Danza Kuduro?
I don't know. I don't know anything about it. But
Was it Despacito?
Despacito, yeah. And then we left there and went out, got our passports and went back to this other bar, and that was really cool. Like, a bar of just college students, so like college priced drinks, like $5 spirits all night. Like, it was really fun. Really fun night.
That's so cool. Do you have any other stories for me? I feel like a lot happened.
On a Monday night, we walked into a club in Vegas, paid $40 for entry to this club because we were drunk and thought it was a good idea.
Yeah.
But went in there and Exhibit was playing in the club. Just randomly on a Monday night in Vegas, Exhibit was on stage rapping, and I was like, "I think that's Exhibit." And then one of the guys at the bar was like, "Yeah, you guys came on a good night, Exhibit's playing." And I was like, "Exhibit's playing? What the fuck?" This is a Monday night in Vegas.
Was it good?
It was awesome.
Does he still have it?
Yeah, Exhibit's Exhibit, man.
Were you like,
He's definitely on the decline, but...
Pimp my ride?
Pimp my ride, yeah, I know. One of the guys that didn't come in, so there was 3 of us.
Was a huge Exhibit fan?
No. But then we came out and we were like, man, Exhibit was playing. Like, you should come in. And he was like, you mean the Pimp My Ride guy? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, why the fuck would I want to go and see that? And I was like, oh, fair enough. He goes, I wouldn't pay $40 for a ticket for that in Australia. I was like, that's probably fair. I see where you're coming from.
That's crazy though, that those guys, because that's where artists go to die, right? Vegas?
Yeah, pretty much. It literally is where artists go to die. Unless they're doing like a big show at the MGM or something.
Yeah, still dying.
Yeah, you're still dying.
If you go and stay, you're dying.
We went and spoke to the high performance manager for Cirque du Soleil.
Oh yeah, how was that?
It was pretty interesting. There's the one thing that blew my mind the most is there's on the one at the MGM, which is the guy we were talking to, they have a scene in there where they're doing what's called like a battle wall. So they're running up this wall with like almost like pegboard holds the whole way up, and they're doing like this whole battle scene on there. And in one hand, they've got a little toggle controlling their own directional harness, so that like when they jump across and stuff, they've got to like toggle it almost like a little Wii, Nintendo Wii remote. So like these guys are essentially carrying almost their whole body weight, running across like a pegboard, doing like pretend battle scenes and stuff, and in one hand controlling their own harness at the same time, like from above. Like these guys are freak athletes, like unbelievable.
Like they're actual athletes, they're not just performers.
Yes.
Did you get to see the performance as well?
Two of the girls went, I didn't go. It was like $200 US.
Yeah.
And I had drinking to do.
Fair enough. I think you may have made the
wrong decision.
Yeah. I think it would have been amazing.
Yeah, it would have been really cool.
Get to see them practice?
Yeah, we got to see something.
So did you see the toggle thing happen?
No, I didn't see it happen. They were just talking about it. Just heard them talk about it.
That's amazing. I would love to go see Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah. Just go see one of the pop-ups and stuff that comes to Australia. Comes to Sydney.
I will.
We will. We'll go see it.
Okay.
Sounds good. We're on the money.
Cool. Let's wrap it up then.
Yep.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching Uneducated Opinions. You can find Steve at SteveNorman250 on Instagram, me at Train with Andy on Instagram. You can find Uneducated Opinions at Uneducated Opinions on Instagram, on Facebook, something else, but just look it up.
And something else, I think.
And if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you so much. Keep subscribing and share this podcast with your friends if you enjoyed the chat, the banter, and Steve's trip.
Yeah. Oh, and to the 2 or 3 regular listeners that we have, out of the 2 or 3 people that I've spoken to, take a screenshot, put it on your story, tell people to listen to it. If you're enjoying it, maybe your friends will enjoy it. Don't just keep it to yourself. Tell some other people. We want everyone to listen to it.
Also, you should shout out the people that have talked to you about it. Because that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Damo from Norwest. Thanks for letting me know you're listening to it. That's pretty cool. And
wait, Damo who? What's his full name?
Damien Fennick.
I don't know.
Damo, thanks for letting me know. And to the one person that knows I'm talking about them, I'm not going to mention your name because you didn't give us a share when I told you to give us a share.
Aww.
I know. Peace out, guys.
Bye.